Hello everyone, this is Yael from Yael Alchemy, and welcome to the weekly general love reading for the week of November 21 to 27. And this reading is for those who are currently in a relationship or want to be in one. It's not, although the way we do this reading is that we read the energies of the masculine and then the feminine. This also applies to those who are in same-sex relationships. So this side, the more masculine side, will be for the partner that carries more masculine energy, and over here is the one who carries some more feminine energy. Okay? Excuse me. So let's start the reading. First card for the masculine this week is the Seeker of Branches. And in the traditional Rider-Waite, this would be the Page of Wands. So the masculine right now is like the camel. He brings news, and he could even possibly be traveling from one place to another. He brings news which he has carried in himself for a long time. He's nurtured this. You know how camels are? They drink very little water to sustain them during the trip because they live in desert areas, arid lands, and their water is mostly stored there in their hump. But this camel has been traveling and delivering that message since it's a Page of Wands equivalent. So he's determined and very inventive, creative. He seeks different paths, even if the terrain looks the same. And you see this camel here, he's not following the path of the herd. Either that or he's slow and he's late. No. But no, you can see he follows his path. And the masculines right now, they also have this energy, which is equivalent to the Empress in the traditional deck, Rider-Waite deck. And Earth Mother means he's tapped into that part of himself which is very nurturing, maternal, and he'd like to provide. Cows, they provide milk. They're very revered. They're a sacred animal in India. So he's tapped into that aspect of himself wherein he wants to nurture and he wants to provide. Next card we have is the Guardian of Feathers, which is the King of Swords. So since he's realized that what he wants to do, to be more nurturing, to provide, to take care of somebody, he's in the energy right now of, planning thoughts. Not planning thoughts, I mean planning things in his mind. His eagles are very predatory. Okay, they're the king of the skies. They can get their prey. They're very directed because they're predatory birds. They have a target, and they swoop in on the target. they've already determined their flight path because they're they're situated above ground. So they have an aerial point of view. As it relates to the masculine, he's getting the bigger picture of where your relationship stands. And he has a clear picture of what he wants to get out of it, what he wants to get from it. So there. And here we have the call to awakening, which is equivalent to the sun. So this is a very nice progression to for the masculine. Okay. First, he's traveled from storing things inside of himself, but still making the trek, making the journey. Even if he's kept that inside him, he's used it to sustain him, even if the environment was harsh. If you're in a relationship, these are things that he hasn't possibly shared with you yet. Or even if you're not in a relationship right now with each other. Okay, he hasn't shared them with you because he's kept it inside, but it's helped him nurture and be clear on what he wants. And now he wants to nurture, he wants to provide, and he's also recognizing the aspect of the feminine that has to be honored and cherished. So after the recognition, here we have a determined flight path, a target, somebody looking at things from an aerial perspective, from a bird's eye point of view, looking at it, looking at the bigger picture. And then the masculine progresses to the rooster, the equivalent of the sun, which means every cell or atom in his body is being called to do something. And this will herald fun times, happiness, contentment, a brand new day for the masculine. A brand new day for what? We'll see later, okay? Going to the feminine, first card we have for the feminine is the beaver. The Eight of Fossils. And you see here the beaver is very diligent, working on the things that she needs to work on to build that dam. And you know, dams, they change the course of rivers. Although what she's doing may seem minuscule or insignificant because she's just building those fossils out of this tree branch. She's doing them. She's working on them. She continues to work on them because she knows that it will have bearing in the long run. So she continues on doing the things that she needs to do in real life, building a secure foundation so that when the time comes, she has something to lean on. Next card we have for the feminine is the penguin, the seer of shells. And this is the Page of Cups in the traditional deck. And here, you know, penguins, aside from being very friendly, they can jump, you know, they're quite agile. They can jump from one iceberg to this tip of the iceberg to the other. And here we have a fish inside a shell. And it seems like she's coaxing that fish out of the shell. So here, the feminine is finding ways to express what she feels emotionally through creative means. If you're working in a creative field, then you're very prolific right now when it comes to ideas, when it comes to writing, expressing your feelings. It's channeling that energy. You have a great amount of feeling for the masculine. But right now, you're channeling it through creative ways, expressing it in creative ways. Hoping that later on, it's like pay it forward. Even if you put this kind of energy, you give it away to someone else, it's going to come back to you because you put out, let's say you put out love in the universe, it's going to come back to you. So while your direct recipient of that love isn't necessarily the masculine that you're interested in, you're still expressing that because it's so overwhelming inside, with the hope that later on it'll come back to you. And here we have the bull. This is the equivalent of the Hierophant. It's tradition, it's institutions, it's wise counsel. And so, more likely than not, you're channeling this creativity in your work. Because this is a card of structure. And again, wise counsel. You can see the rabbits looking on in reverence to that bull because they can see it's very strong. And around the bull's neck are keys. So that's where the female is at. And why is she not necessarily relying on, but why is she leaning on this traditional roles, institution? It's because right now she feels vulnerable. It's like a crab out of its shell. Although here in the picture, the crab and the shell aren't one and the same. But right now, that vulnerability I'm getting is because of her uncertainty of the outcome, about the outcome of this relationship. She doesn't know where it's going. So she stays underground, she walks sideways like a crab, and there, while the crab's skeleton is rather hard when they're still young, it's very soft. But at this point in time, that's what she feels. She feels very vulnerable. That's why she's leaning on career, things that she has to do, just channeling it in some other venture. And so at the crowning, what crowns both of them is the nurture of feathers. And this is the Queen of Swords. This is a very smart bird, very wise. Very intuitive and sensitive. So, again, since this is the crowning, both of them are still strategizing on how to go about it. Hasn't changed much from last week, as I remember, except that last week the masculine was dealing with his shadow self but as you can see now, I think the energy has changed. and he's moved past that. He's wrestled his demons already. And now they're looking, from a bird's eye point of view, with empathy and sensitivity at the situation. Still, background is logic, thinking, smart, forthright, being honest with each other. So that's what the masculine and the feminine want at this time. They want to be honest with each other. And, like I said earlier, as the foundation, the root, both of them are still laying in wait like these links. It's a card of perseverance, of, finding the right timing. And the energy that the masculine is projecting to the feminine is the Ace of Shells. This is wonderful. Okay, the beginning of love, of romance. So, perhaps the masculine right now is, trying to feel his way around the feminine, how he's going to ask her out, how he's going to reveal all those emotions he stored. He's trying to find ways and the right timing. As far as the feminine, she's got, again, also a 1, the Ace of Branches, which is the Ace of Wands. So here, in her vulnerability, she moves on, because that's how she's projecting that she wants a new beginning, a very fiery beginning. Okay? She wants a new beginning. That's what she's projecting, and she's out to get it. Perhaps the masculine thinks that it has to do, oh my gosh, sorry. It has to do with her career, because that's what she's projecting, or whatever it is she's busy building. But anyway, that's what he's projecting, she's projecting to him. So, and the advice for the masculine is to love, be open. Here you go. He's on the right track. Oh, I didn't see this. I picked 2 cards. And that's quite wonderful. 2 of Shells. The dolphin. Dolphin's very playful, very sexual. So aside from the offer of love, there's an offer of, recreation with emotion. Very nice. They're smart. They're telepathic. And here, so the masculines right now have a very nice start here, being advised to love. Don't be scared to reach out. This is the energy they're already projecting. It looks like from last week, he's filtered out all those feelings of pure lust, of trying to direct that feeling into something that's not really constructive, if he's gone out with other people or had sex with other people. But now, he now understands where that was coming from. He's now enlightened why he felt that way, why he had to express, why he had that feeling that he was so aroused by the feminine, or, just plain sexual. Because he wants to express that, but underlying that is the Ace of Shells. So it's, yes, he's being told, love. For the feminine, here we have healing begins. And also it's a 6. Both of them have 6s. Beautiful. And why? Why is she being advised to heal? because here she still feels very vulnerable. And usually that's an indication of something that you have to heal inside. What makes you feel vulnerable? What aren't you sure about? Well, what are you uncertain about? Being vulnerable means there's uh, um, an energy of either lack or fear. And she's being advised to heal that because he's going to help her heal also. When they do get together, you can see each of the vines here are entwined. They're coming from each of them. And they're going to help each other heal. And this is also a card that says, I picked this card in the other reading. So it's helping each other heal. And for an outcome card, okay, I have my little rose quartz angel. For an outcome card for this week, we have the Guardian of Shells. And this is the Knight of Cups. And it is an offer of love. You know, sharks, this is a shark, right? Yeah, it says there. Sharks, they can smell blood. They can smell the life force. And in a way, the shark can pick up energy and go directly zoom towards their prey. That's going to be the outcome this week. So it'll be waiting for the opportunity, because, you know, they've been waiting for the opportunity. But when the opportunity is right, wherein both of them can talk about the new beginnings that they both want to happen in the relationship, it's going to be fast. It's going to be fast, directed, and relentless. Once a shark has its sights set on its prey, it doesn't stop. So be ready for that. And that's the weekly reading, the general weekly love reading for this week. Again, thank you for liking and subscribing. If you'd like a reading that's personal to your relationship, or if you have a particular person in mind, and you'd like more insight on how both of you relate, then please visit my website at yaelalchemy.com or send me a message. And well, in my website you see the various types of readings that I do. So go have a look-see. And that's it. Have a nice week ahead of you. I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.